welcome to episode 10 of Shaadi Shenanigans. I'm your host, Neha Chopra from SAWC Planners, and with me, I have my co-host, Nush, as always.
Always here, double digits.
Today we're
at a beautiful location. We're at somebody that defines this episode. We're at Ethereal Creators, and with us we have today Hafsa and Abdul, the owners and the masterminds behind all this gorgeous decor that you see at weddings.
Yes.
Abdul and Hafsa.
Yes, welcome to our episode. We're so excited to have you guys.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for coming, and welcome to our studio.
Excited
Thank
to
you for
get
having
behind the scenes and spill some chai, as we call it, every episode when we talk about clients. And we just did a wedding together, so very exciting to talk about that as well.
Absolutely, a beautiful one.
Yes. Like always. I think beautiful is an understatement for your events, I must say. We have to come up with a better word, maybe ethereal.
Ethereal.
There you go. That's it. That's awesome.
He's like, I came up with it already.
All right, so let's get right into it. I always learn so much from these podcasts that we do all the time because we're so into our meetings and so into everything else that we always forget to ask the backstory. Mm-hmm. So let's rewind this a little bit and talk about how did you guys get into this beautiful world of South Asian or weddings in general?
You want to start off?
What do you call it? So always, weirdly enough, always from the childhood I can remember, I think probably I was like 10 or 12 years old, a bit like I was in Pakistan at that time, and one of my cousins getting married, and like going to the floral shop over there and just getting like lots of like marigold or whatever it is that was available. And then from a very young age, always involved into like all kinds of like family and friends' weddings. Mm-hmm. But that all being said and done, like being brown, I was never allowed to be in this industry whatsoever. And a lot of our family told me, like a lot of my extended family and friends would always tell me at whatever events that we would do that you need to do this professionally. And of course, and people said it to me, it was always because like it was me and the siblings all in the team at that time doing it at home, whatever kind of
a lot of DIYs.
That's how it starts.
We tell couples not to do that anymore.
Absolutely, and that's where we learn.
That's
from,
where
like,
you get creative. That's where you learn.
Lots of arts and craft from those regards. So, but anyways, when I graduated from university at that time, and I got into, I was working at Environment Canada, I got a job, everything.
Oh, wow.
But I did it for a year and I was sitting in a cubicle and I absolutely hated it. Like every single day, I was like, this can't be my rest of the life.
And what was the job, sorry?
I was an economic research assistant over there.
Nice.
And you know what's the craziest thing? It's so funny, but so my supervisors of the place was in Ethereal area, right? There's a big Environment Canada building over there. So my supervisor used to be like, he was an old guy and everything, and we used to commute together because he also used to live in Mississauga. So we would be in the same go bus in the morning and in the evening as well. And I was like, this is life.
It's okay, don't worry.
So I was like, this cannot be life for the
rest of my life.
This is my future right in front of me. So every single day for a complete year.
Oh my god.
I was like, this
I have to just see this visual in front of my face.
So that was it. And so that was like a great reminder for me. And like I went to but actually God also made it happen. I'm not gonna lie in the sense that I graduated with like a really high GPA.
Honors,
show off,
Dean's List.
all the stuff was there. I was at UFC, so I was actually very I was supposed to get into like global affairs. I was supposed to do my master's. I was very confident that this is gonna happen. I only applied to one university, U of T, for master's at global affairs, one program.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you need to do this and that, but I was very confident it's gonna happen. Yeah. And it didn't happen. And that was that.
Oh, I thought you said that my GPA was great. I got
but U of T.
U of T.
You were meant to be here.
I graduated with a 3.94. GPA.
Dean's List, that's like honor roll.
There's nothing after that. So despite that, I didn't get in that year, right?
Oh my God.
It's a very, very competitive program.
It is.
So, anyways, whatever it be, genuinely sad, all of these things. I went to my dad. I was like, this is not happening, so I have to come back for this for a whole year because I didn't even apply for any other programs. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not even getting to masters. Either I stay as is, continue my job, and then apply to other programs for next year, or just give me 1 year to like look into this. And coincidentally, that time was my brother's wedding. So
Worked
that was like the
out.
perfect time. So then,
So, okay, so now coming to me, I guess. For me, it was the complete opposite. I was always an art student growing up. I was into visual arts. That was my best course. That's basically all that I knew how to do. And I was also very good at creating things from my hands. So, like courses like tech design, that was like my thing to do. So naturally, I thought I should go into architecture with that kind of a
Makes
skill
sense.
set.
Yeah.
But then physics came in the way of that.
Oh my God.
So that didn't work out. I applied for architecture, and business was my backup choice. That's what I studied at UTM as well. We both went to the same university,
Nice.
and I think in the middle of my studies, that's when we kind of joined forces and started the business together.
Which was what year?
So that was 2017,
17,
17, 18.
So around that time, like I also got married. So my wife, like I was sharing these feelings with
Yeah.
my wife
Yeah.
as well, that this is what I'm doing and I'm not liking what I'm doing. And then and of course I will always say this is like what I want to do, but I'm being completely being transparent. Like it was something that always pulled me back because I knew my dad wouldn't be
Approve
happy
of
about it
it?
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like he will, if I wanted to, I could do it, but he will not be proud of it. So it was something that really held me back from even approaching this.
Yeah.
But anyways, once I got married, my wife also convinced me as well. Skill set wise, like I was always very creative in
good.
it. In this
And you were
area.
also into interior design a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. So
That was like
all those
his thing,
projects,
like decorating the home and stuff
in
like
our
that.
house,
Yeah.
like we'll always team up. Me and her will team up to do all those projects as well. We're 5 siblings out of the 5, and
Yeah, amazing.
I'm number 4.
and I'm the first one. So we have a good age difference as well.
Ah.
Despite that, we will always team up in those regards, and all of us siblings share different relationships. So me and her shared this design relationship, and like
Nice.
someone else I'll share like cooking relationship. Like, there's all these different relationships that they will have.
That's
having
so
you.
nice.
I
I know.
So me and her shared this design relationship, and like in terms of my skill set, it was always very creative. I knew what the vision should
Yeah.
be, but she was
I'm
very
more
hands-on.
hands-on.
I was.
That's where the beautiful sketches come from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, we love that.
So like I can't even draw a straight line.
I know, straight in all the meetings.
So-
You gotta wait until Hafsa does her part.
And the good thing is, so then
Yeah.
from there, like it was my brother's wedding, and I was like, let me just try this, and that was our first wedding in a first banquet hall setting.
It was a
The-
perfect
A
opportunity.
perfect
Yeah.
opportunity,
Yeah.
here in
Yeah.
Canada.
Where was it?
It was at
At
Apollo.
Apollo.
Oh.
Extremely ambitious with that
Yes.
project, but till today, I'm going to the explanation later on. But till today, it's something that like I've done like crazy stuff. We've done like insane events, all these things, but that is an event that I'm still the most proud of. That very event.
Aw,
It was
that's
a big
so nice.
deal.
Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
a really big
Yeah.
deal.
Agreed.
Okay, so you talked about your first project as you feel the one that you were most proud of was your brother's wedding. What is a specific thing that you remember from it that you felt like this is it? Like we need to actually make this a business? Because at that point, did you actually have a name? Did you actually have, or was it more of a brother's wedding and we're gonna just do this?
Do you wanna go or?
You go.
Either can go.
Okay. What do you call? We did have a name at that time, so there was like I think it was 2 months prior to my brother's wedding was when
We started the
we
business.
started the business.
Oh,
So we did have a name at that
We
time.
had an Instagram page. We uploaded whatever pictures we
like
had.
from whatever home
Yeah.
events that we had in the
That's
past,
nice.
and all these things. So actually, one of the other things that is very interesting behind it, all the crazy projects that we were able to create prior to our company being officially announced was that my uncle had a
Oh, yeah,
huge
that's like something.
textile business. So he had a huge warehouse with all kinds of fabrics.
Yeah.
So poor uncle, like we used to just show up at all these events and we just literally get rolls and rolls and rolls of fabric
Wow.
and start at that time, like just giving you behind the scenes that we didn't even know what were uprights and crossbars and they were available in the industry and all. So growing up, like all these events, we will get like literally
Rolls of fabric.
and start pinning each one of them into the drywall and go wall to wall into like purples, pinks, like
Oh
doing
my God.
insane house
Where would you do
projects
that?
at our house. Like our house.
Like our house
Just
is
paint
went
like
the
to-
thumbtack.
paint
Yeah.
thumbtack, the
Oh
whole
my
thing. We have
God.
From like ceiling
fabrics,
drapes.
all of
so
Yeah,
that,
we
all
were
of
very
it,
ambitious.
And it
very-
would stay?
Even
Like,
then.
Yeah, it will stay. It will stay.
Damn, that's so
and there's a
crazy.
lot. So we had that experience, but no experience doing it professionally whatsoever.
Yeah.
So now it's my brother's wedding, and we are, of course, naturally very ambitious with it because we have this vision with the ethereal
Yeah.
players. Like it has to be like you know, over the top, blah blah blah. All these things from day one, we had a very clear vision. So that's why I think we're like the most proud of that event from like till to date because I still remember in the morning, like, so that event, I went to one of the vendors and we rented 2 loads of like complete trucks. Okay,
Of
like
all
rented
rentals.
all kinds of things. Like I went to a company, like I want this, 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 like everything, all kinds of whatever.
And she was really
centerpieces.
nice enough to trust us
Yeah.
with her
Yeah,
inventory.
I would never trust anyone
Yeah.
like that. Like
Oh
with
my
my
God.
inventory, like
Brand
it's so
new people.
expensive.
Oh my
And,
God.
like I wouldn't just leave it with
Yeah.
anyone. And
Yeah.
she actually had an event of her own, so she left us with 2 loads of boxes, all completely with all kinds of fabric, everything. She came and left it all at the loading dock, and guess who's my team? I have like team of 15 cousins.
All cousins.
It's always family in the beginning. It's
There's-
always
there's
family.
not a single person who's trained. There's
Oh
not
my
a
God.
single.
And it's the day of our brother's
brother's
wedding.
event.
Oh, yeah.
And we have 0 experience
Yeah.
with
Wow.
like
It was very
wedding
chaotic.
banquets, like 0. I swear
Oh
to
my
God, 0.
God.
And we had a like 50. We didn't even do it today, but we had a 50 feet backdrop.
That was our biggest backdrop.
So, like, we had
Oh
Till
my
date,
God.
it's the biggest
because
one.
at that time you don't know, right? Like you're exploring completely. So
Yeah.
we had all kinds of structures. We had
Yeah.
candelabras, everything on the backdrop, centerpieces, everything like, you know, like we had at that time we had a fountain in the middle of the dance floor. We did
mirror
vinyling
vinyl.
I want to see
ourselves.
this picture.
And we
Yeah.
hung chandeliers around the aisleway, all of this thing. We created a 18 feet floral wall.
Oh
by
my
Yeah,
hand,
God.
by hand. Me and my
okay?
cousin made it
So-
ourselves. Zip tied each flower. It
Stop.
was insane.
Like it's a day
Yeah.
of the event, and
was actually
I'm
insane.
standing inside the hall with everyone being having 0 experience, and I'm calling the rental company. Hey, how do you like use the upright?
Oh my God.
How do you raise it? How do you
Aw.
do this? What do you do?
Wow.
It's a 0 experience,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh my
And
God.
at that day, I felt like, okay, today is a day that we will all fail in front of all of our family and friends that this is a disaster, okay?
Aw.
Literally, things were like
Yeah.
it was.
Oh, and we had
funny-
all crystal, like all the candelabras, all kind of candleware, everything was crystal.
Yeah.
So then things were just like popping and dropping and just, it was a
like,
disaster.
I remember we
Yeah,
set up a candelabra,
yeah.
and it had a hurricane, like that was like a screw and hurricane. And it's done. It's like done. It's left, and then you.
It was
turn
one of those
around.
floor candelabras.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're like standing far away. No one is even close to that candelabra, and the thing just comes out and pops out of it. And the hurricane falls onto the ground. Like insane stuff.
Oh my God, I would cry.
Insane. And we had like hanging.
That was so bad.
Candlelight, all of that happening into the room, with no experience. That's the truth of it, right?
Yeah.
And
And it was a big wedding,
It was a
like
big wedding. It
400
was like
people.
400 people.
Yeah.
Everything. So,
I'm still
anyways.
wondering what were you so proud of?
That
The
he made
proud
it.
that
Like
we-
they came out on the other
Yeah.
side.
By like
That's what
5
I'm
o'clock,
gonna get to that.
4 o'clock, we were like, okay, this is not happening. 5 o'clock, not happening. 5:30, all the girls leave. They're like, we need to go get
Go
ready.
get ready, yeah,
It
cause
is what it is.
Peace
Peace
out.
out. It is good.
You
But
do
my
you.
cousins actually held back, and all the guys, they all like we hung. I think 12 I swear to God, 12 chandeliers on the backdrop. So imagine we
It
had
was how powerful all of that. Like,
we
is what
had
I'm-
a zero.
I don't know what
experience.
we
I
were-
don't know why we were extremely ambitious because it was like, you know, it's your home project.
Yeah, it's like your
you
brother's
know,
No, and
wedding.
this was
you
like
can
our
go big or
chance
go
to
home.
either
Yeah, like,
you know,
make it, like, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Go big or go home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you
That's
call? Anyways, by
It worked out.
7:30 p.m. we were done. It finished somehow.
Yeah.
We
Oh
were
my
done
God.
from everything was good,
And everything stayed in
And
fact,
it turned out
everything
so
stayed
nice.
intact,
No, no.
everyone was blown away.
Yeah.
Everything. Of course, like if I look back to it, like a lot of finishing isn't there.
Of course,
Yeah.
naturally.
But, like, for your
it's-
first
it's like,
event.
it was for the first. I don't mean to like show off or being
should.
overconfident, but I still feel like in the entire like anyone I've ever come across, and if anyone ever asked like what was your first event, I still confidently like I can bet $1 million on it that I think our first event cannot beat anyone else's first
I agree.
event because
Wow.
it was so, and anyone I share it with, they're just like,
Yeah.
but I'm sure like everyone has this emotional attachment with their first event one way or
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
But like the scale of it was massive. Like
We
it
created a
was not
ceiling
cheap.
canopy. Like it was insane. We
I
need to
need
show you
see these
pictures.
I
Yeah.
want to see
We
them.
definitely
100%
need
need to see
yeah,
them.
wow.
100%. So, guys, crazy story, first wedding. How did the name Ethereal Creators come about?
So we literally just Googled pretty words,
Oh my god.
Pretty word.
and ethereal was,
ChatGPT wasn't a thing.
and
back then.
No,
ChatGPT
Google might have
wasn't.
been a thing.
No, Google was of course there.
Yeah, that's what I
Wow.
mean. I know.
This
I
is
don't
20.
know Google World anymore, but okay.
We just Googled pretty words. Ethereal is one of them. It had a really nice meaning.
Yes.
So then that kind of just stuck with us, and we added creators to it, and that's it. And
That's
yeah.
it.
So not design
We-
creators. Was there a thought process behind that too?
I mean, it's kind of
So-
lame to think about it now, but creators because we're creating beautiful
which
events.
it
so
makes sense.
yeah,
So at that time we were amateur. Right?
Yeah,
So I
we were
cannot,
just
like,
starting
lie about
off.
the fact that like it was based on like domain names. So like
Yes.
Ethereal Creations. First, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
it would have been ethereal.com, right? That's that. Of course, that's not available.
Yeah.
that's also another reason.
Then
why.
like we just went through a lot of handles and domain names, whatever was available. Creations wasn't available. And so we did not want to do design or anything of that stuff. We knew that part that everyone has that word in it.
Design,
So,
decor.
or something
Yeah.
along those lines. So that's why it was a no for sure. After that, it was whatever was available domain wise, and creators was, and we went ahead with it.
Creators were like,
And
we're
it's
creating.
It's unique. It's
You
unique.
know, like it's something to be proud of as well, because I feel like we see design so much in everything.
Yeah.
Creators is the immersive experience that you
Yeah.
always talk about.
And-
I know
and
at our events.
I do remember actually sitting at the Starbucks when
Yeah,
they made these
oh,
names,
yeah.
and I went to
Like
the barista
writing
over
down.
there, and I was like, well, what do you think about it?
Oh my god. Oh no.
It's
cool,
Like,
it's
we're just like,
cool.
okay, perfect, done, let's go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's our market research.
Yeah.
There you go. He likes it.
Okay, awesome. So a lot of our podcasts are really focused on couples that are looking to hire you guys as their event creators. Let's call it that. And I've sat through your meetings and
Yeah.
looked at the design process and what it takes. I would love for our couples and our audience to really understand what it is to be in this office, walk through the entire design process, and from beginning to end, what does it take to have you guys on board for an event?
Do you want to answer?
Sure.
Yeah, you go first this time. He's been going over.
Sure. It starts off with generally having an initial consultation. So that's usually when Abdul will walk them through our work, how we work, and he'll walk them through like a pricing guideline of some kind. And usually that meeting is virtual.
Sorry, stop.
Stop.
So one of the biggest things that we love asking on this podcast is a process that our vendors follow, right?
Mhm.
Because whenever we recommend our vendors to our future couples, we want to make sure that we're able to show them exactly the experience that they would get from the beginning when they pick up the phone to the time the offboarding happens and the event is over. Like literally short and sweet, what is it to be into that ethereal experience?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first thing, of course, usually the inquiry has to come in. Majority of the inquiries will come in through, so I think I would say about 60-40, where 60% of the inquiries do come through event planners and 40% of them do come directly to us. So of course, with an event planner, it's amazing. We already know each other, and it's like, okay, half the questions are already discussed with the planner. So that's a different sort of an inquiry versus someone who's coming in with a cold email or phone call or DMs,
Instagram,
TikTok
yeah.
messages.
Instagram,
There's
yeah.
so many of them. So finally, we've streamlined it in a way where, like, okay, anyone who's messaging us on social media, it's like sending us an email, because there's one person replying to all emails.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes.
As much as I used to hate emails, but now that I have someone replying to emails consistently, I prefer email as well, so that everyone is on the same page. So from that email, like, of course, we share our initial services. We talk about our minimum in general, and then of course from there we see if they want to set up a virtual or in-person consultation, which is usually our first meeting. And in that first meeting, typically it will be me that we will be doing the first initial consultation. Hafsa is very heavily involved into the design process of the actual thing, but talking more generically about like the services that we offer and like how we go through our design process. And that first meeting, it will be me, where in that first meeting we will normally break it down into three parts. In that first meeting, first part would be all about, like, understanding what the client's vision is, their aesthetic, what are they envisioning and expectations. And then second part to that meeting is when we will share our services, some of our past work, and what we are really known to do, and what is truly our specialization. And then third part too is when we will, in that last 20 minutes of that meeting, is when I will talk about budgets. And it was a very, very lengthy process to go through this, but we have finally streamlined it in a way where in that first meeting we tell them, because it varies so much for us. Like, we have one, it all comes back to the design scope and the level of detailing. So that 20 minutes, believe it or not, we're able to tell the client that your expectations are going to come down between this budget bracket to this budget bracket to this budget bracket. And then in that meeting, they will know, okay, whether or not they want to move forward. And so from that meeting, based on that budget bracket, we will place a retainer invoice, very simple and quick, and then officially secure the date and then start the design process.
Okay.
Amazing.
Awesome. So and of course with Hafsa, like, one of the things I love is your hand sketching.
Yes.
I legit
Thank
made
you.
her pull out her sketchbook. And she's like,
So
I don't even
pretty.
know where this is. But sure, it's all digital. And I'm like, no, I want the OG. I want you to pull out the book and show us exactly. And what I'm looking at right now is one of the projects. Our
Favorite project.
favorite project till date. Shout out to our couple, Simon and Kareem. If you guys are listening, you're still talked about till date.
Absolutely.
It was one of our favorite projects. I think the
100%.
project, it's my favorite, not because of the design and all of that. I think that project really brought us closer.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As a friender relationship, as to say. And that's where I really realized how much back end goes into everything that you guys put together, right?
Absolutely.
From where we started at, and I'm like, Abdul, this is the budget that the couple has. But I remember the client also was like, I want to know what they can do if we did not have a budget.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole Pandora box opened. And we're like, we can do this. And we had an amazing client that trusted us.
Absolutely.
Like, we're like, let's just vinyl the entire Royal Ambassador carpet. And that was it,
Yeah,
right?
no, that was
and
one
then
of-
building on top of that,
Yeah.
and how they trusted us as professionals, and they're like, we want this wedding to be talked about, okay?
Mhm.
Like, let's, and
Absolutely.
truth be told, it's still getting talked about. I'm sure it's going to be for years to come. But yeah, so beautiful work. I see it right here. And then we also have like how you created the entire, like, the pillars and
Yes.
the color.
So I think for this event, this is personally one of my favorite events as well from, I think, the past 5 years.
After your brothers, though, right?
Oh yeah, that one is
Yeah.
memorable. This one I think stood out to me mainly was because she asked for a European kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
And I think from there, that idea that kind of really spoke to me and Abdul as well, because we wanted to bring a French garden to life. And from there, that's when this whole maze thing came to life. And I think we went through like 5 different renderings
Yeah.
before we finalized it to this version, I think.
Yes,
Or no,
a
it
lot
was
more.
it was
It started with
It was
small.
from here, yeah.
Oh my gosh, the
Do
detail.
you remember like we were on site and then we just created like this rough sketch to
Yeah.
it at first because they didn't like the first 2 versions and then
so I had to like literally live draw for her and like came up with this version.
Yes.
And then I think the other reason why this event was so special because this was one of our, I think, first like custom backdrops.
No, I think it was first like fully immersed experience, top to bottom, where we went through like actually that year we did like 2-3
lot
events.
of
That was the
customized-
first year where we went into complete immersive experiences, and this was I think our second or third event in that year where we had that
Full
that
room transformation.
transformation.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was a lot more special because the client had complete trust
Yeah.
on us. And that was a lot more, like, that's more rewarding in the sense that because luckily we had worked together on the other event, which was, like, I think about 8 months prior to this one.
Yes, the
So,
Nika, oh
yeah.
my God, at One King West, that was phenomenal too. Yes.
So because of that, I think that really helped in the sense that we knew who the couple was and what were they really looking for and what their true aesthetic was, and they trusted us back as well with like being able to deliver, because of course like at that time when you don't really have the portfolio to be able to execute that level of transformations.
Yes.
I think like that this level of transformation was our first time doing it at that time where we were like going into complete fabrications top to bottom, where what every like the venue was completely
Like when
transformed.
people walked in, we're like, please, like, because there was some other people that were like, I think they were showing the venue to, and we had to keep telling them, this is not what the venue looks like. Please don't go like this.
And then they actually transformed the venue
Yeah.
next year too.
The year
Yeah,
later,
Like
yeah.
seeing the value into like
Yeah.
flooring the entire space
Yeah.
into like
Yeah.
all white and everything. They're
Yeah.
like, you know what, like maybe this does make complete sense to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this special event even so much more special, because of course when we did this event it was completely tailored to what the venue's aesthetic was. So
Yeah.
like colors,
Yeah.
everything was
Yeah.
done according
Royal
to
ambassador
that.
before us.
So no one can ever achieve that event again ever, because the venue
Now
doesn't
it's all
even
white.
Exist
the venue
anymore
doesn't
that
even
way, yeah,
exist
it's
that
all
way,
white
so
now.
you can't go into
was so gorgeous.
like
Yeah.
going, and now it being all white going with green structure wouldn't make too much
And no,
of
it
sense.
wouldn't make any
So,
sense.
Yeah.
I think that's what made it even more special.
And
Agreed.
I remember event after event, one of our creativeness, or a better word for challenges that we had to kind of come up with, how to make the floor plan
Oh, yeah.
very different because it was a segregated
Oh,
way.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And I remember how, like, with the male and female, and for us as planners, I remember how we had to think about, like, on the female side, we need to have a female trio,
DJ.
the
Oh
like
my
DJ.
God.
Oh,
Photographers.
photographers,
Photographers, you can get all of that. I think our hardest was
The trio.
a female audiovisual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's where,
Yeah.
and I remember, shout out to Samantha, from audiovisual, I think it was DJ Emporium at that time, or Digital X. I think Digital X
It
was
was
there
Deluxe,
in-house.
yeah.
And she was there, and honestly, she's like, I'm just following the instructions. The actual audiovisual guy's on the other side. On the male side. She's like, I'm just pressing buttons and being
Yeah,
here showing
I wouldn't imagine too many women in AV.
Yeah, I don't think
Even
think there
DJ
is.
too. I think we only
Very
have
rare.
DJ
I think
one.
now we have,
DJ,
because the
yeah.
last week's event was the DJ
Mita,
was
that's who
female-
she's talking
female.
about,
The
Mita.
same-
Oh,
same-
okay,
Same
okay,
one,
okay,
Mita.
okay,
That's
okay.
that's the
it's
only one.
Same, yeah, but very interesting story
No,
there.
it was a great collaboration. Like I
Yeah.
remember the amount of
Favorite.
hours we
Oh,
talked. and,
I
like,
know.
before
was
even
never looking
proposing
at
to
the
the
clock.
client, like, you know,
Yeah.
the budgets,
Yeah.
we're like crossing it, quadrupling the budgets
I
here, and
know.
like,
When she told me, I was like-
conversations, we're just like, oh, okay, how do we do this? How do we present this?
It was
Yeah.
gorgeous.
And,
It was gorgeous.
but
Thank
then
you.
it was like all
Stay-
right.
All right, so you guys said that 60% of your couples come from planners, and the 40% comes from non-planners, or like just, with no planner. What would you say it's like to do a wedding with a planner and without a planner?
Do you
I
wanna
think so when there's a planner involved, the quality of the entire event is usually better, because if a person is investing into a planner, that means they really truly care about the quality of their event and what they're trying to create. So I think usually those events are better, and we prefer events with planners too, because they're more organized. There's like better collaboration involved in terms of the whole logistics and planning.
And I think it also cuts down a lot of time that couples are investing into design meetings and all of that, because when we're involved as well as planners and with designers, like the very first thing is, you're so accessible to us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You might be on a vacation or wherever,
But we
we're
can
like,
message
"Hey,
you."
Are you available on this date? That, like, just to
Yeah.
give that answer, that
Yeah.
availability, yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the very first step, and I feel like sometimes putting in that consult form, filling it out, and like waiting for you to respond to them already is like
Mhm.
Yeah.
a couple, especially if you're busy at events and
Agreed.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think that, and also with the planner, I feel like we know the questions to ask from the get-go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That can eliminate a lot of those,
Yeah.
like, 'cause
Initial
Yeah.
conversations,
That
yeah.
that is very true.
It
And like,
filters people
even
out.
Yeah.
narrowing
Yeah.
down to who we think is the right fit for
Right
this
person.
couple,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're not looking at 10 different
Yeah.
vendors
Yeah,
and
yeah.
coming down to, oh, actually, this was the right fit.
Exactly. No, and of course, like even on our end, we treat inquiries coming from planners versus solo are completely differently as well, because a lot of the solo ones that of course don't have the knowledge, and they're just shopping around and they're just trying to understand, because it's a very overwhelming industry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like being a couple, being a bride, or something, it is quite, and especially solo, it's so overwhelming. And
With
actually, my
Pinterest,
heart goes
social
to,
media.
you
Yeah.
don't know where to, you don't
There's
know
so
where to
many
start, where to
vendors.
end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
versus when an inquiry is coming from a planner, that filtering has already been
Been done.
Yeah.
They've already been informed and educated. Most importantly, as to if you're gonna go to this person, this is what to expect. This is
Yes.
the service to expect. These are the
Minimum
prices to
spends
expect.
too.
So all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
things are very transparent, and that's why it's always like whenever an inquiry is coming through a planner, it's taken so much more seriously. Not that but then
But
there's
yeah.
more
There's
investment
quality
because
involved.
I think that first meeting, actually what matters more is that, like, in that first meeting, if an inquiry is coming in solo, I'm being a lot more educational, versus if a inquiry is coming through a planner, I'm doing more of like, okay, what is the vision, where are we going, like we're jumping a lot into that and saving a lot of that time into it. And there's most importantly that amazing trust factor that comes in with working with a planner,
Yeah.
that we've all worked together in the past. They know our working is that ethics, and vice versa as well. So there's a lot more trust built in between.
It's much more smoother overall,
I
the whole
always
process.
say, yeah.
When we talk to our couples, 60% of your sale is done.
Yeah.
Because we've already educated them,
Yeah.
we've already
Yeah.
narrowed it
Yeah.
down to who the right fit is.
Exactly.
We personally don't even recommend more than 3 vendors per
Yeah.
category.
Yeah,
We're not
'cause it
gonna give you a
overwhelms you.
directory.
Yeah.
And it's
Exactly.
like, you could just sit on Google or ChatGPT, sorry if I
Uh-huh.
say that 50,000 times, and just be like, oh, who is the best decorator for this, but do you know what it really takes? And even us investing our time to
Yeah.
do these podcasts
Yeah.
in the middle of crazy wedding season speaks for itself. Like,
Yeah.
it's July, for God's sake,
Yeah.
like, we're all in our crazy wedding season. So
Yes.
that, I think, speaks for itself, that we really want to educate our
Yeah.
couples, and
Yes.
we're making an effort.
Yeah.
So that collaboration of us working together at events
Mhm.
definitely speaks for
Absolutely.
itself. So our next segment is all about setting trends and what you guys like about, and according to me, I can say this right now, you're definitely the trendsetters.
100%.
One of the biggest trends that I can tell everyone who's listening, watching, is how you guys all came up with vinyling the stage where the couple sits, not just a white vinyl, okay, we've seen those, but actually with a print.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting through other decor meetings and they're like, oh, we can do this, because they, like, you know, they got inspired by how you guys did your stage and how it made a big difference. I think the first event I saw it really go crazy was at your wedding, Hafsa. I think with
Really?
the whole reds, I remember, like, that's
Yeah.
the first time I saw how it was done around the stage. And that picture from your wedding has probably, I'm sure all decorators have it somewhere. It's hiding
Saved.
somewhere.
That's
Screenshotted.
And kudos to the ones that actually give a shout out to you guys
Yeah.
for that, because that's the right way to do it. But yeah, like, you know, the trends. So we're in 2025 right now. Is there certain things that you are thinking of setting for the others that you think is new, or like something that you're loving in your designs that you guys are doing?
I think for me, I don't know about Abdul, but I think patterns has been our thing this year.
Oh, nice.
We're getting very creative with using different kinds of patterns and using it in a different way. So next month you'll see that we're using it in the ceiling a lot. So
Oh,
that's going to be a
cool.
very cool and interesting
Fun.
event, and
Nice.
stay tuned for that one.
Very exciting. Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
I think like talking about trends, of course we look at trends, but it's, as you started the entire conversation, like we really try being the events trendsetters really, and it takes a lot to be able to do that, and that means that you have to draw inspirations from left, right, center. You have to get like, you know, get creative and think outside of the box at all times. A lot of people don't know this, but genuinely there is. So it's me, Hafsa, and then we also have another senior designer, Sarah, who, like, and these three of us, majority of the times, but at least two of them, Sarah and Hafsa, at least 4 to 5 days a week, literally between 10 a.m. till 4-5 p.m. all they're doing is just designing events, and each and every event
Our
is
favorite thing to do.
and like, you know, testing patterns, testing
Yeah.
colors,
Yeah.
testing shades, flowers. There's just so much, and each and every design file, before it gets presented to a client, there's been at least 50 to 60 hours of work done to that file.
Wow.
And it can be a 10 file design deck and something very simple, but literally a floor plan will be rejected 4 times before it's presented to a client. Like, it's me, Hafsa, and Sarah have to be all in agreement to that floor plan before being presented.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same thing with linen, same thing with colors, same thing. So, like, having 3 people on the same page takes a lot. So, when you go through each and every event to that level of detailing and that level of criticism, naturally you're gonna be able to call yourself trendsetter, because it's not being fluked. It's actually being thought through very carefully and very intentionally to get to that level.
I think one of the things I love about our events that we do together, and I'm sure you do it for others, I'm just speaking because I've seen it, creative floor plans, I absolutely love that. Not your usual rounds everywhere. Like, I love, like, even the event that we just did recently, it was all a mix of rounds, rectangulars, like, you know, all of that stuff. And another thing is fresh flowers. I know that, like, you're one of the very less companies that I know out there that do not push for silk flowers, or you're like, we go all fresh. That's it. That's our element of luxury when you are at event spaces, and us as creators, we want to make sure that you have the fresh floral smell component and you know exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also a really big thing. Every time I walk in, I would know it's an ethereal event just with the amount of fresh flowers and the smell that's in the room, right? Because
Wow.
not everybody does that.
Yeah.
And so that talks about the setting part. What about some that you've seen, like, overdone at this point and you would not see in an ethereal creators event?
Oh, not see.
Like
Well, silk flowers, I would say, is
Silk.
something you would not see at an
No, we
ethereal
have a lot.
creators.
I mean, like, I forget everyone else. Even for ourselves, we're so critical. Like, everything that you will see in our inventory, we're so critical towards it. Like, if we've used it, like, 4 to 5 times, we want to like push it out. We don't want to use it. Like forget anyone and everyone. It's like we try being as critical as possible towards our own stuff before anything else comes around. And that goes back to even the story of fresh flowers, right? The reason we always push for fresh flowers is so that we are not investing into a whole warehouse of silk flowers.
Like
in a
ready-made
certain shade.
flowers.
Agreed.
And then you're going to be stuck with it. You're going to be stuck with that shade of burgundy. You're going to be stuck with that shade of burnt orange or whatever it is. And then you will have to reuse it. And that's how the silk industry kind of works. And you have to reuse it to make profit or margin out of it. So to avoid that reoccurrence and to make sure that we are the ones setting trends, we don't even go into silk flowers, that every single time we're getting fresh flowers, we are being forced to go out somewhere in the world to find a certain kind of a texture. And literally our flowers fly in from Japan, Holland, like, you know, anywhere around the Ecuador, like wherever there is a certain texture in a certain season is being brought into this space for that.
That's amazing.
That's great.
All right, it is now time for I think our favorite segment, which is the rapid fire. So your answer is gonna be rapid, full of fire. I'm gonna try asking you some fun questions, and we'll see how it goes.
This is exciting.
Ready? Okay.
Okay.
Who's the bossier sibling?
I think everyone knows that. I think it's pretty obvious.
What about you? Are you gonna say?
Between the two of us, I think that's the best thing about us. We just always on the same page. So.
That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. One flower that you would like to ban from all weddings.
That's a good one.
Roses?
Ban.
You can.
No, like I
that's a really tricky question actually. Because of course flowers are beautiful.
Yeah.
Marigolds? Like as
Yeah, we just did. Marigolds are so beautiful.
I love marigolds. I love marigolds.
So it just depends.
I can say that about individual flowers like moms or whatever it is. I don't like this. I don't like that.
Carnations.
We had this conversation yesterday. I was like, I want carnations. It's like, no, this bursts perfectly, and I can see how it fits perfectly.
Yeah, because it just depends on how you're using it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. If your brand had a signature scent, what would it be?
Oh, it's like something very strong, sexy, masculine,
very musky.
Yeah, like
nice.
Yeah.
So what's
like oud?
No, that's too.
That's too traditional.
I know.
Yeah.
Like
what's a good one?
It's a good one.
I like the Dior Sauvage.
Sauvage? Yeah, that one's a nice one. Yeah, that's a very nice one. That's a very nice one. Amazing. Most chaotic setup moment that you still laugh about, aside from your brother's wedding.
I like that. Thank you for adding that. I'm like, that's going to be a given.
Well, thankfully, we haven't had too many, like...
No, most chaotic. Like, think about it. There has to be one.
Chaotic?
It always ends in a good way, right?
Chaotic.
It looks
always
like we don't know chaos.
That's what I mean.
Last weekend's event
was quite stressful.
Was quite because we had the smallest elevator going to the 17th floor, and we had two 24-feet trucks that had to be unloaded. So literally 10 guys from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Luckily, we got the venue the day before. 12 to 7 p.m. 2 trucks unloaded between 10 guys from the bottom ground floor.
Wow.
One by one.
Wow.
It was insane.
So that is insane.
I was just gonna tell you that is insane.
7 hours of unloading time between 10 people. It's insane.
But see, a blessing. You got it the day before.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
if we didn't, then that would be a shit show.
People would be coming in the elevator.
It would have been a leg day for everyone going up the stairs. Maybe like using a crane at that point.
Oh my god,
that's the thing about downtown venues.
Like within those 7 hours, the amount of people who wanted to use the same loading dock because it's a small loading dock area. Oh, the garbage truck came in. The laundromat came in. Like, you need to move your truck in, out.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no parking area there. So every time a truck is going all around the whole thing, circling until they get the loading dock again. So it's a whole insane mess that goes behind the scenes. That's completely unexpected.
Yeah.
100.
imagine how much does that happen, because like you just asked me this question and it's happened last weekend, but it wasn't my first answer. Like, you know, there's this, it's just given. It can happen.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is what it is.
What
Downtown
is...
weddings and small elevators.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
that's the biggest thing.
nightmares,
I think that's the
nightmares.
nightmare where, like, literally, as much as I have to say this though, I love downtown venues. I love, like, there's nothing comparable to them. Like, there's so much character, so much value, all of that. But for our side, it's the worst
Yeah.
nightmare
It's the
because logistics are the worst.
Yeah, fully agree. What is the most used phrase between the two of you during setup? We're good, it's fine, fix it, or oh my God?
I think number one would be shit. Number two would be do we have...
I think number 2 would be
Do we like
No,
it?
before that is do we have enough flowers? I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
something we're always
Always.
stressing about.
Questioning,
If
yeah.
we
Fair,
have,
fair,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, the amount of times
We've like panic
we're
ordered.
left with so many
Yeah.
extra flowers, like, you know, that happens as well. Or sometimes, like, you know, thanks to Uber though. Thanks
Oh,
to
yeah.
Uber.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Because the
Lifesaver.
that now there's
The
Uber,
Uber
like, today,
courier.
Like 4 Uber deliveries came in.
Yeah.
I needed I have a big sample meeting happening on Monday. I needed the drapery sample. I need linen sample. I need this. Instead of my guy going for like 4 hours, like, you know,
Uber.
picking up each and everything,
Yeah.
Ubering each and everything quickly,
Yeah.
all of the way.
Honestly, it's a
The-
blessing.
The
Fair.
best thing is at events now, if there's some issue, good thing, of course, we have amazing suppliers, and like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a matter of call.
Yeah.
If something happens, gotta call the Uber. It's done. At least there's no pickup going.
Drop
like, one
Yeah,
person
but the
that
amount
way.
of times we stress about having enough flowers.
What if we didn't have Uber at Gita and Neil's welcome party? What would have happened with their 25 pizzas that we had to order on?
Wow.
Oh, I called
time?
them. I didn't Uber it, I called them. I tried. So here's the thing. I actually, to give you a little bit of backstory, I tried to order it from Uber, but Uber wouldn't let me order more than 10 pizzas.
Oh,
Oh.
good to know. Okay.
Interesting.
Because I think they think it's a scam after a point because we're ordering so
Yeah,
many
we
pizzas.
literally were in the event, and the couple's like, oh, we need food. We need more food, and we have 200 people here.
Wow.
So we ordered like
Pizzas?
20 extra large pizzas from
Yeah.
Domino's.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
On the
That's
fly.
crazy.
Anyways.
All right. One thing aside from flowers that you always overpack in your setup kits.
Overpack, flowers is the main thing, but other than that,
Centerpieces.
Centerpieces.
Oh, yeah, extra
candles, vases.
All this candles.
Yeah.
Like,
Candles, yeah, they break
he
so
he just asked me right now. He's like, oh, which one do you want to keep? I'm like, keep both.
Yeah, because you never know.
Change everything.
You never know.
Yes.
Fair enough. Would you ever have the urge to eavesdrop on guests reacting to your setup?
I can see him doing that.
He's always there for
Always.
couples.
No,
Yeah,
couples, but
yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
guests.
Yeah.
Like couples, you
Yeah.
know, like he stays back for a
Sometimes,
couple.
Like, of course, you're always there to see the guest client's reaction.
Client,
and
yeah.
the
That's
couple's
hilarious.
reaction. It's always worth it.
Yeah.
Parents' reactions are always
Yeah.
worth it as well. It's always so nice to have them come in and experience it. By that time we're always like that.
Yeah, by the time the guests are around.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it wasn't for Hafsa, actually, because Hafsa and I are usually in the same, coming in the same car, and we're going back. and
Yeah.
forth. So she's definitely completely out of it by the end of it. So she's like, "Let's go home. I have a
I need to
husband."
eat.
Yeah,
Fair,
oh, yeah, definitely. I
fair.
can't eat
I'm like
during-
starving by the end of
I
it.
don't eat
Yeah.
in
Oh, I need to
stress
eat.
at all. So that's the worst thing about me actually. On day of events, I actually start with a coffee, and like I will not think of food throughout the entire day until the couple
Oh my
sees the
God.
space and they're happy. Then
Oh my
all of a
God.
sudden I have this hunger attack inside me. I will want to eat something, but that's so bad for the entire team because they're all hungry. They're naturally getting hungry. So now at least like I have my
No,
sister,
I take care of
yeah,
the team and make
exactly.
sure there's food for everyone.
Yeah.
So that
Which is
yeah,
fair. Which
because
is
I'm
fair.
also hungry and everyone else is
Yeah.
hungry.
Oh, I start starving, and like I'll start getting hangry, and I was like, I need to eat. I need to eat. I
Yeah.
need to eat.
Yeah, and we've had, like, even on the day of the events, one of the things as planners that we do when we see people, like photo video teams, they're non-stop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
And
Mm.
sometimes they don't even grab a bite. So on our timelines, the minute we put bride and groom eat, that's like an indication to vendors.
Everyone
Vendors
eats,
can
yeah.
eat, yeah.
Going back to your question
That
though,
makes
about like
sense.
seeing other people's reactions, sometimes I
You
have
will?
stayed back to just see their reaction, and it's always been priceless. It's always been so
Always.
special
Always.
and worth it.
And
so.
you've gotten like the reason
I won't shy
also.
away from it.
You also like when you get the business from the wedding, you obviously know if there's a guest that's liked it, or like they might have DM'd you after, being like, oh, we were at your event and we totally loved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's another.
Speaking of food, what is your post-event guilty pleasure snack or meal? Could be a drink as well, bubble tea or whatever you need.
Post-event,
Well, for you, it's a full meal.
Yeah,
It's like,
full
this is
meal.
my elite
Again,
meal.
I want coffee right away.
Really?
Right after.
Oh,
Like
really?
I'm like drive-through with my best friend.
Yeah.
Getting into a car, first thing is coffee for me always.
I think we've also done a lot of
So-
sushi dinners.
sushi is-
Yeah,
is-
that's a good
Comfort.
one to
we
go.
often do celebrate though.
Yeah.
Like if it's something
If it's a
really,
big
really
one,
big event,
Yeah,
we will try going and celebrating.
Go
to
somewhere to
a
eat.
nice place to eat or
Fair
something
enough,
like
fair
that.
enough, fair enough. Last two I think I have. Describe your design aesthetic as a movie title.
Oh, as a
Oh.
movie title.
that's interesting.
Give me some movie names. I'm so
Could be any, like in
Could be
Bollywood,
some
Hollywood.
movie names, I have no idea.
Movie title.
Like I could see like Karan Johar, Sanjay
Yeah,
Leela
please, let's not get
Bhansali.
into
Like
Bollywood here. Not Sanjay Leela Bhansali type of movies.
no,
Not
but
that.
like Karan for sure.
Karan, maybe if you think
Like
of
a
it.
set.
Like I said, some of his sets are like crazy.
Yeah. I don't like. I don't think any Hollywood movie can attest to this. Like I'm not. Sure.
I mean,
I mean-
in terms of Hollywood, Bridgerton is a big
I was just
style.
gonna say, yeah,
yeah,
Bridgerton,
that's a
yeah, that's
a
big
good
trend.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
But
them are called somehow.
I wouldn't-
Bridgerton,
yeah.
that's the Bridgerton
Some
vibe.
sort of component.
Yeah.
I think
And-
that's the you know how we just contemplated between Hollywood and Bollywood
Yeah.
right now, and I think that's our true power sense behind our design sense, where we have those Eastern roots that are very like over the top, like
Yeah.
Sanjay Leela Bhansali
Yeah.
or something, but then they're all very much polished in
Yeah.
terms of that Western elegance.
Agreed.
That is our true design.
Yeah,
Agreed,
like a
agreed,
combination
agreed.
of both.
Combination of both, perfect. Bridgerton it is.
Bridgerton meets Sanjay Leela Bhansali.
Yeah, basically.
All right, last question. Sibling rivalry check. Which one of you takes better Insta content of your work?
Oh, me. Oh yeah,
Abdul, I
100%.
I thought it would be like me. No, okay.
That's where the bossy side comes. Did you make Instagram content?
Fair enough. I actually have a bonus question. Maybe I'll ask it. Would you rather, actually, sorry, who's more likely to be found making last minute tweaks after the setup has been done?
Oh,
Before
like
the event starts, like before doors open?
last minute?
No.
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 I mean, like finishing touches, like I
Like
would
the
normally
loading
do that.
time area, or like when the packing list is being created.
Yeah, then
and the
he changes up a
flowers.
lot of things.
Yeah.
I change a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, maybe maybe. Again, I have that tendency of overthinking. So
Yeah.
I will for sure say, oh, maybe we might need this, or maybe we need extra flowers all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Another major arrangement over here. I just need it. I know the client didn't pay for it, but I just
But
need
you
it
do.
over here. It is what it is.
That's what happened in our
Yeah.
last event as well, where I know that you gave us like a fresh floral arrangement for the seating chart.
For the
that you
seating chart,
created.
yeah, they just put it there, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was great.
it works out.
I know that was. It was
That was the last question
I
I
want to
had,
ask
yeah.
a quick one. It's nowhere scripted. What is the longest it's taken for you to set up for an event?
Longest.
The longest.
I mean,
And
like
which
when
event?
it's 2 days prior to 1 day before.
Like, I think when
Typically every event that any event that we do usually at least is like 4 days prep day at least.
Prep day
4
at
to
here.
5 days, yeah, at the
Yeah.
warehouse. Like even if we have 1 day set up, that never means that 1 day. There has been at least 4 to 5 days of setup time that went behind it. Then there's after post wedding actually, there's 2 to 3 days depending on how much. Like for example, the last weekend's event, like there were like 600 glass tubes to be cleaned. There's insane amount. I don't know how many bags of garbage bag, the flowers, the cages that have to be sorted, this,
Yeah.
that, all these things. Each
So
and every
they're still working on
candelabra
that.
has to be
even
cleaned.
now.
Like there's a whole team that is cleaning and sorting everything back, and there's a whole team that's prepping for the next event as well.
Wow.
So that is all happening simultaneously.
See,
and,
that's what our couples, they can't see it, but it
Yeah.
needs to be said.
for sure.
Do you put that in your invoice and let them know that 4 days before and 3 days after?
I have
is
people-
We just need a Netflix show following us around.
Yeah,
We need a
totally.
BTS show.
But then oftentimes, of course, like with the level of detailing that we do in our events, we do get the venue day before if possible. Sometimes it's 2 days before as
Yeah.
well. And
Like
it's
that
been-
French Garden, we started at 3 a.m. So
Yeah.
that was an all night
Thankfully, I
to all
remember
day.
with Royal Ambassador too, getting the venue the day before was something else
Yeah.
as well
Yeah.
to be able to.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay.
Amazing.
That's great. We had a great episode. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for
watching,
watching.
listening, wherever you guys are. We love you. This is our double-digit episode. We're at episode 10.
Congratulations.
Awesome, man.
10 to 100
I
real
think 10
quick.
is amazing. Actually.
Yeah.
That is a good number to
Yeah.
have.
Totally. With our frienders, we started with Durgi, and our episode 10 is with you guys. So
Thank you
that's
so much.
Thank you
that
for
is great.
coming.
And watch out for a few
Episodes.
next ones.
Yeah.
that are coming up. Thank you.
Thank you.